After quite some time now, I fired up my trusty SV08 again, and it was immediately broken. Error 3, communication lost. Fantastic, because this way I can show you how to fix it. But first we need to understand where the error actually comes from. It comes from this cable. Well, not this one in particular, but from an identical USB connection on your board. This port on the long side of the main board is the culprit. If you've never looked at the female end of a USB connection, because they're usually encased in something and all you see is this, you will realize something. There are these tiny little metal flaps, if you want to call it that way, on the sides, here, all around. What they're supposed to provide is continuous connection and also kind of like shielding and grounding, which this metal casing on both ends provides. And in here, hard to see, you have the connectors inside on that white. You see them in the back on both ends. And now you can envision when this is connected, this is nice for getting in and out for a quick connection, transfer data. But if it is connected continuously, this metal cage wears out. If you have no strain relief on your wire, it wears out this way. If the whole contraption it's in constantly vibrates, it wears out all directions. And in my case, this is already quite loose as it comes. I'm kid you not, but I was able to move this connector about that much when it was fully inserted. That's how worn out this female end here was in the case of my printer. My first impulse was to just bend these tabs back in. But as you can see, there's not much you can do, because you would have to be capable of overbending them to put more pressure on the male connector. But that is not possible because this white thing is in the way, and yeah, you could basically only do these. You don't really want that, because now it doesn't work anymore, right? That's why I had to come up with a different solution. To be clear, the USB design is fine for stationary devices, but for equipment that moves and vibrates during operation, it is a poor design choice. Convenient, but insufficiently secured. Anyhow, let's fix it without spending gazillions of monies. All I used was some aluminum tape, a highly professional twist tie, because I can never find my zip ties, some foam as a shim, and some Blu-Tack adhesive mounting putty for good measure. The first order of operations was to obviously shut down the printer and turn it over. Usually there is this aluminum shield in the way, but I removed that permanently. The second step was to see if the wiggle room was normal or due to wear and tear. So I plugged the male connector into the other female receptacle on the same port. You know, the one above. And it turned out that one was way tighter. I obviously could have left it at that, but that doesn't solve the underlying issue. That's where the aluminum tape comes into play. I chose aluminum tape in the hope of keeping the grounding and shielding functionality of the metal part intact. All I did was wrap it like this, a little bit neater than that, twice, and then trim off the excess. Next, I added a ferrite core for good measure, but that's probably not necessary. The two applied layers of aluminum tape made the connection fit very snugly. That's exactly what I wanted. The little foam shim between the housing and my ferrite core provides something to tie the cable to. That way I was able to create an easily removable strain relief with the super professional twist tie. After a few successful test prints, I locked the whole contraption down with some additional glue tack for extra strength. Also, it is easier to remove than hot glue. Yeah, ever since I had no connection issues anymore. And the twist tie keeps the wire from sagging, especially now with the added weight of the ferrite. If you have a similar issue, this is a way of dealing with it. Thank you for watching and successful printing.